Hey friends, it's LlamaMamaKayla again. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And I just want to tell you guys, y'all are so awesome. Look at the birthday cards. It's already came from my mom. Oh my gosh, she is going to freak out. She is just going to be, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to show her all these cards. Okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will leave a link below to a video I did one day this past week. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know that my family's having a really hard time. My dad has, my parents both came down with COVID. They were both in the hospital, and then my mom got out of the hospital and was sent to a nursing home. My dad got out of the hospital, went to the nursing home, went back to the hospital, went back to the nursing home, went back to the hospital, and he was put in ICU at that time. And then he was put on a ventilator, and he's been on a ventilator since then. And so it's been just a really hard time for my family. My mom is at home now because she left the nursing home. She was not discharged. She just left and went home. And so she does not need to be home, but she's at home. And we're just making the best of it that we can. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's difficult on everybody. And we're just doing everything we can. So in the video that I put up last week, I had explained that my mom's birthday is coming up April the 13th. And my birthday is before that, but what I was asking in the video is that for my birthday, if you guys would send my mom a birthday card. And so I just think that will be so cool. She would be so surprised, and it would be awesome giving her all those cards, and it'll lift her spirits, you know. So she's gotten these cards in already, and so I just thank you guys so very much. I am going to do a video of me showing her the cards, like, you know, whatever how many amount of cards we get. I'm going to do a video of me showing her the cards and telling her this is from my YouTube subscribers, and then I'm going to do a video of me like opening each card, showing them to her, and reading the cards to her. So I can't wait to do that. Like, I'm so excited just to show her these cards. I don't know. I was thinking, you know, maybe we'd get a couple of cards, 2 or 3, you know, 4 or 5 at the most, probably. But y'all have already blown my expectations away. And so today I'm just really excited, you know, that these cards came, and I'll be able to, you know, present those to her. That will be fun. Okay, so I did want to give an update on my dad. I don't even know how to like give this update. It's kind of a touch and go thing, of course, but keep praying. That's what I'm asking you guys. Keep praying. So my dad was like really bad off last week. The doctor that was there, like, I guess there's different doctors that come and go. I believe this doctor was from New York, and he was just adamant he's not going to make it. There's no way he's going to recover. He's not going to make it. And the weekend before, they had taken him off of medication. I can't remember exactly what happened. I mean, so much has happened. You just won't even believe. But anyway, his blood pressure bottomed out to like nothing. His temperature dropped to 93. He was going into convulsions, and so they had to put him on 3 different medications to raise his blood pressure up. You know, most of the time people were on blood pressure medicine to lower their blood pressure. This was to raise it up. It was 3 different medications. So Friday, the doctor decided I'm going to take him off of those blood pressure medications. And my mom had went on Friday Yeah. Well, let me back up. Let me say this. My dad's brother came in from Kansas and saw him on Thursday and Friday, and he just cried and hated to see, Phoebe, why are you crying? Hated to see his brother, laying there like that, and so he just cried, and then he left Saturday morning to go back home to Kansas. My mom went to see him on Friday, and she's sitting there, by him and everything, and the doctor had came in, and she asked the doctor, is he going to recover? And the doctor said, do you want the truth? And Mom said yes, and he said no, he's not going to recover. He's not going to survive this. So then that doctor made the decision that Friday, that same day, to take him off the blood pressure medications. And then the next day, Saturday, he took him off the sedation. Okay, so my dad's been on the ventilator, so he's been like in a coma, like asleep as if you were going into surgery. So he's had sedation medicine, right? So it's just like if he was in for surgery. He was sedated, and they had him on a paralytic. It was a paralyzing medication, so he was sedated and paralyzed. Okay, so Saturday the doctor made the decision to take him off the sedation, off the paralytic. So I kind of wonder in my mind, since that doctor was so adamant, he's not going to make it. And that doctor was there through the weekend, so I just kind of wonder if that doctor kind of did that just to let him go. I mean, I don't know that for sure. That's just my thoughts. Like, I just wonder, why did that doctor just do that to, maybe it was just, he thought, well, we'll just take him off the blood pressure medicines, and we'll take him off this and take him off that, and, whatever happens, happens. I don't know if that's what the doctor was thinking, but I have had that thought, you know how you just think things. So I've had that thought. So anyway, Saturday, I guess my brother tried to call me, and I have phone issues off the wazoo. You don't even, that's a whole other video in itself, my phone issues. So, Phoebe wants me to pick her up. So anyway, Saturday, my brother tried to call me, and I didn't get the call. So he texted and said, call me and let me tell you about Dad. So I called my brother, and he said, I want to tell you about Dad before you go up there, because I had told him that I was going up there in a little bit. He said, they took him off the sedation, and they took him off the paralytic, so he is somewhat conscious. He's still sedated and in and out, sleeping and everything, and my dad was super swollen. Like, he is so swollen, it's painful to even look at him. He's so swollen. His face, his hands are huge. Like, oh my gosh, it's like he's got, I don't know, his hands are so huge. But remember I told y'all that his hands were like ice cold? They were so much warmer. They were so much warmer when we went up there Saturday. I was just thrilled that his hands were not ice cold like they had been then. He's very swollen. Even his ears are just huge. I mean, really. His face is all swollen. His forehead swollen. His eyes are swollen. Y'all, his eyeballs are swollen, okay? But when I went in the room Saturday, his color looked so much better. Like, oh my gosh, he was brown again. I mean, I'll add a picture of my dad in here, okay? At the end, I'll add a picture of him. No, he's Mexican, okay? This whole time he's been in ICU, he's been like white, okay? So And when I went in the room Saturday, it was like, oh, he's brown again. And so, anyway, he could barely open his eyes like this. And then he would raise his eyebrows up and try to open his eyes and and kind of try to look at you, but then he'd close them. And it was like, I don't know if he would just fall back asleep, or I don't know what was going on really with him, but I talked to him, and his eyeballs looked kind of freaky, I'm just going to say, because they're swollen. I just never knew your eyeballs could swell like that, but his eyeballs are swollen. And I don't know how well he can see, because when he would raise his eyebrows up and try to open his eyes as much as he could, and you could see his eyeball in there, the color, it was mostly white. I mean, the whole, you could see this big white ball with little bitty, like the pupil and your color around the pupil and all that was just like tiny, on these big old white balls in there. And so I don't know how well he could see or anything, but so we went in, and I held his hand and I said, hey, it's Kayla and Jody. And he was kind of go like this and do his eyes up, and then he would move this thread here, and the nurse said he was like trying to talk, but he can't because he has that trach down his throat plus a feeding thing down his throat. And so he would like do that as if he was trying to talk, and then he would scrunch his face up like he was trying to cry. And I'd tell him, it's okay, don't get upset, we're just here. I just talked to him and just told him whatever, told him what we was doing, what we've been doing. And every now and then he would like try to open his eyes to see. Jody talked to him and told him, he needed to get stronger and get better so they could go fishing. Stuff like that. I've got his dog, Dumpling. This is not Dumpling, this is Phoebe, my dog. I've got my dad's dog, Dumpling, and my mom's dog, Bridget. I'm keeping them. So I had told my brother that I was going to take Dumpling up there to see him, and Dumpling said, you're just crazy as Mama is. He said, you better not take that dog to the hospital. If they call me and say there's a woman there with a hot dog, I'm going to tell them to call security on you or whatever, So anyway, I told my dad, I said, I was going to bring Dumpling to see you, but Cody told me not to. And so, and no telling what my dad was thinking. No telling what he was thinking, laying there, fighting for his life. And I'm sitting there telling him I was going to bring the dog to see him. I don't know. But anyway. Anyway. So the doctor had told my brother that even though they took him off the sedation, took him off the paralytic, took him off the blood pressure medications, not to get your hopes up. He's just very, blunt, adamant, he's not going to make it. And so, my brother said a new doctor comes on Monday and he will talk to him and see what he has to say, whatever. So the new doctor's there today and said that doctor gives hope, and so we have hope, and we are just praying and asking you to pray. Please pray that, he does have some improvement. His lungs need, to clear up. They're full of COVID, full of pneumonia from the COVID. So his lungs are just, they need prayer, his lungs need to improve, and the fluid on his body. And they are giving him medications for the fluid and stuff. It's just not, it's just slow, I guess. It's not working fast enough to get all that fluid off of him. But anyway, that's my update on my parents. My mom is still being, my mom, Yeah, I just don't know. She's very difficult. She is a hard one to deal with. Several people have asked, could she come and stay with me? No, she cannot come and stay with me. One, I don't have anywhere for her to stay. Two, she hates it out here. We live out in the country. She is in town and people can stop by and see her, and you know, she hates it out here. Actually, I'll just be honest, she owns the house next door to us. They've had that house, oh my gosh, I don't know, 10 years maybe? I'm trying, I don't know. They've had that, and she has stayed out here one night out of all those years. Jody's mom lived next door to us, and she wanted to move down South Louisiana with one of Jody's brothers. So she was going to sell her house, and so my dad bought it from her, bought the land and the house from her so she could move. And so they've owned that house for like 10 years. They've never lived in it, never stayed in it. My mom stayed one night. She was scared to death. She hates it out here. So no, she will not be coming out here to stay with me or, you know, in that house or anything. She likes to be in town. She likes for her friends to be able to drop by if they want to or something, you know, or so yeah. And no, I cannot go live with her. She's begged me to come and spend the night. And she, you know, and you might be like, well, why don't you go spend the night with her? Okay, because we would have to pack up so much stuff to take over there. We would be making like, I don't know how many trips back and forth to load the truck with our stuff. And it's up and down steps, which is hard on me and Big Daddy. To load the truck, and then we'd have to do the same to get our stuff back in the house when we got back. I mean, Big Daddy has to take a CPAP machine, all his medications, you know, his work clothes, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I would have to take my IV pole, my feeding pump, my formula, my supplies, my tube feeding, my, you know, supplies to do my dressing around it and everything. My crochet, that would be several trips on itself, right? And then the dogs, and it would be a lot. Okay, so at my house, I have the dogs confined, and so I just have to clean the bathroom and the bathroom floor. I mean, they're not confined to the bathroom, but they're in 2 rooms, and their pee pad is in the bathroom, and that's the room I have to clean and mop and all that kind of stuff. At my mom's house, there's no way to confine them anywhere. So I can barely clean my bathroom and bleach that floor and mop it several times a day. There's no way I can do her whole house. No way. So yeah, that's just not going to work out either. So yeah. So no, I'm not her caregiver because I can't take care of myself. Big Daddy takes care of me. I am in no way in any kind of shape to care for somebody else. Now, I'm doing everything I can, going over there, making sure she gets her night meds, and you know, I do have to change her and clean her up and stuff, and that takes a lot out of me. And so I'm doing what I can, but I can't do more than I can, right? So Big Daddy has to take care of me. He helps me get a shower and get dressed and stuff. And so I can't help somebody else when I can't help myself. So I'm not her answer. I'm not. I'm there to do whatever I can, but I'm not the caregiver, because I need a caregiver myself. Y'all, I mean, people just don't even realize that, how bad off my health is. So anyway, and she don't realize that either. And like when I try to help her do something, I mean, she nearly takes me down. So anyway, you know, just trying to explain why I'm not staying with her or why she's not staying with me. I can't take care of her. But we don't know what the answer is, but I know I'm not the answer. But anyway, guys, I appreciate your prayers so very much. Please keep praying for my dad. I believe they're going to do a trach this week. The doctor today was going to go assess him and see if he was going to be able to have the trach done and also have a peg tube put in for feeding. They have his feeding tube in his mouth right now. They just have it run down his mouth into his stomach. It's not an NG tube like goes in the nose and down. It's the he has a pump just like mine and a feeding bag, and then the tube where the feeding tube comes out, and I would hook that to my tube. They just have that in his mouth, so his formula's just running down. But anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you so very much for the card y'all have sent for my mom. I will leave a link in the below to the original video I made, and also I will leave the address below if you would like to send my mom a birthday card. I'd appreciate that very much. So bye, friends, and here's Phoebe came to say hi. She's been feeling very needy today. It's supposed to be storming here in a little bit, and so she's not really scared, but she gets a little needy. So she's been feeling needy. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.